Hi, Sharon from Global Healing Exchange here. Haven't been on for a couple of weeks. So much going on in the world right now. My God, it's crazy. I like to sit back and watch what's going on and see how I can relate that to what's going on in my life personally. What can I do to empower myself? What can I do to empower others? And what can I do to make an impact in the world around me as well? Um, my goodness, I could go on for a long time, but what I want to say right now is this is what I'm seeing most of. And it's really, really interesting for me because I had a example of this on my personal Facebook wall. And I've had a so-called friend of mine who's no longer a friend, completely abusing me and not letting me have an opinion about what's going on in the world. Now, everyone's opinion is valid. And if we don't learn from each other and have open, honest feedback for each other, we can never learn and grow as individuals or as a society. And what I'm seeing on a global scale is people putting out, you've got to be fairly strong enough in your views to be able to put what you want out on social media these days, because there's a lot of backlash. It's very easy for people to write you off as a conspiracy theorist or say, oh, you got your tin hat or this, that, and the other, or, you're fear mongering, call you names. But these people that do that to you, they tend not to have a good argument for the opposite of what you're saying. So it's very easy to just try and shut you down. And I see that as abusive. That's what abusers do. They gaslight you, they make you feel like you're stupid, that you're not thinking straight, and that's how they work. And that's what I'm seeing in society right now. And I think it's shocking that friends are doing this to other friends, and we're not going to learn and grow as people or as a society all the while that we're doing this to each other. So this is something, I remember this is something I studied many years ago when I was doing my NLP and my hypnotherapy. And it was written by a psychologist in the 60s called Bruce Tuckman. It started off, there was 4 different parts of his theory, or these 4 stages of development. So the first one was on forming, then it goes on to storming, then it goes on to norming, and then performing, and then he's added later on a journeying, which is like the end of the project. And a lot of people use this in group development these days, but this is kind of what we need on a global scale as well at the moment. And we're never going to get through this if you can't go through the storming phase. So I'm going to briefly go through these phases. So the forming is obviously when a new group's coming together. The roles are unclear, the objective is unclear, trying to find the purpose, trying to find some clear objectives. And at the moment, our world has just been thrown upside down. And I kind of see that's where the world is right now. We're trying to piece things together and find out what's going on. And the next stage after that, once we've got a group together, we kind of then need to start talking about things and find some clarity. And we do that by having discussions. And it's in this part, in the storming phase, where people get frustrated about other people's opinions and they push against boundaries. They're trying to get their opinions met, the other people are. But in a functioning group, this is a perfect stage because you kind of knuckle out all of the parts that don't really serve you, but you can come up with a solution that way. And what I'm finding right now is it's very easy for people just to knock people down, and we won't get through this phase. We won't get into the norming or performing phase if people are just abusing each other all the time. So I'm just wondering, anyone on the line at the moment, there's a few of you here at the moment, are you seeing this right now, and is this making sense to you? Because the more that we talk about how we see the world and our experience, we can all bring our experiences to the table, but all the while we're shutting other people down for their opinions. You're making them invalid. And I don't know everything, you don't know everything. There isn't one person in the world here that knows everything. But if we can start piecing together pieces of facts, we can start, finding a place where we can sit in the world, where we can actually work together to actually make this a more harmonious world that we're living in right now, because it's really scary. My intention has never been to bring more fear into the world, but you know, I actually haven't brought this out in my business right now, because my business is about health and well-being. If you have a look at all my posts, it's all about the immune system. Since COVID, I've brought out 4 new magazines on the immune system, and you know, there's 500 videos, audios, ebooks on the website, all free, all giving out information. But I'm really strong and I'm really firm on mandatory vaccinations. I think it's wrong. I think vaccination in itself, it serves some very, very good purposes in the past, but once you make anything mandatory, it's wrong. Everyone should have sovereignty of their body, and that's been my opinion. And I will talk about that now in my business as well, because I've kind of been pushed towards that. Because my friend, not only did they come and abuse me on my personal page, they've started doing it on my business page as well. So I kind of have to start talking about it on my business page. So thank you for that, because it's kind of making me step up and actually talk about this stuff in my business. So anyway, we've gone from forming to storming. And then when we get through the storming start of stuff, we go into norming, and that's when, you know, life gets a bit better. People know their roles, the conflicts are sorted out, people get stronger, they work together, and they can develop something. So then we can develop our future. And then after norming, it goes to performing, and then we start performing the tasks. We have a shared vision, a shared goal. But if we don't go through these stages where we're actually allowed to talk to each other and not feel like we can get shut down all the time, we're never going to get past. We're never going to get clarity. We're never going to get stronger and work together, because we're stuck in, you know, stuffing down our emotions and stuffing down what we feel, because we're too scared to talk about it out loud to people, because that's kind of how the world is right now. So the purpose of this video, oh, and then we go on to stage 5, which is adjourning, which is coming out of, so this, if this was in a team management situation, it's about finishing the project, everyone, you know, it's being successful, everyone's coming out of it feeling good, there's harmony there. So that's kind of the thing, that's what we want in this world. I think everyone who is in the world right now wants a more harmonious world, you know, unless they're actually psychopaths and actually like the crazy that's going on. So I can liken what I've learned in my, you know, from the psychologist here into what's happening in the world right now. And it's so vital. Like, I'm a therapist who helps people that have had abuse in the past, who need to stand up for what they say, regardless of what people say, regardless of name calling. I think people that name call for you are, you know, or name callers are just people that just can't think critically. They're not very strong people, they're weak people, and they make you look, they try and make you feel small because they're small and they can't build themselves up. So what I would like to say is, if you are out there telling the truth, if you are out there giving your opinion, whether it's wrong or right, doesn't matter. It's about standing up, having an opinion, making an impact in the world. Because if you actually sit there and just shut people down, that isn't doing anything. So pretty much that's all I wanted to say. Thank you for your comments. Yeah, there's a lot of cyber attacks going around. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of things. There's different ways to look at it, and I'm glad that people are, you know, having opinions on here. We have to start uniting, but until, you know, we have to also say what we're seeing as well, because you know, the distraction, Marina on here, you're saying there's a distraction from the possible reality that we can choose collectively if we don't buy into the negativity of the debate. So what I see from that is, like, we are so distracted with arguing with each other, we're not really looking at what else is happening. You know, we're really focused on burning books, getting rid of history. You know, if we get rid of history, we don't learn from history. You know, there's some really dangerous things happening in the world right now that, you know, things happened in the past which were appalling, but we cannot change that. But what we can do is change the future. Destroying things isn't going to do that. Look at old ancient civilizations, look at the Mayans and Zapotecs, and, you know, a lot of, you know, the Spanish coming and invaded them, and all of that beautiful stuff went away, but that didn't really resolve anything. And it's kind of what I see at the moment. You know, history is repeating itself. We're self-destroying ourselves, we're destroying each other, and we're destroying beautiful things that actually you know, beautiful movies and books that actually, you know, Animal Farm in 1984 when I was a kid, like I'm not into politics at all, but they kind of taught me, you know, things about that in a way, you know, what I'm saying, I'm going off track now and I'm going to come back, but there's a lot going on right now. And it's, you know, I'd like to, you know, just say to people, you know, talk to people who you know that you're safe with. I deleted my friend off Facebook. I've blocked him. He's welcome to come onto my business page and talk to me about it. But I don't want that energy in my friendship groups. I'm very happy, and I have said this, very happy to have conversations, but I will not be attacked. I will not be attacked physically. I will not be attacked mentally and cyber attacked. I will have conversations back. And if it gets to a point where that person just wants to cyber attack me, then he will be blocked. But basically, I'd love your opinions on this. Can you see, is this making sense to you? Because if we don't get through this storming stage, it's like project's over. You know, where are we going to go from here? So it's really, really important that we actually start listening to each other. We feel that we can give people a safe space to be able to talking, because that's how we learn and grow. So that's a little tip. So I want to thank my friend for poking me enough to be able to do this video and to use it as a good teaching tool for my business. As I said before, we have so much information on Global Healing Exchange that's completely free. I'm a therapist that helps people to stand up and have a voice. So if you need that, please contact me as well. Please look after yourselves right now. You know, it's a weird place to be right now, but we can see the positives in it. So, you know, start putting some positive into the world, start putting positive into yourself, and we will get through this together. Alrighty, have a beautiful day, and that's my message for today. So thank you for joining me on my live, and I'm going to try and do a live at least once a week, because I quite like doing these now. So thank you for joining me, and thank you for your comments. And if anyone's watching this in the replay, I'd love to know your thoughts. You know, we can all see, you know, what do you feel is happening in the world right now? How do you feel that we can come out of this? How can we resolve this together? How can we start thinking differently, doing things differently, to actually start coming together as a functioning group? Because that's kind of what we need globally. So anyway, thank you so much. I don't have those answers. That's why I'm putting it out there. And I will see you very, very soon. Bye for now.